Hey guys, Cindy Williams here, the Wanderlust CEO. Today we're talking about, are suites really worth it for your next cruise? If you want to learn, is it worth the extra money to spend it on a suite? What do you actually get when you select a suite for your cabin on a cruise? And also how to drastically get discounts and deals on cruises. That's what we're covering today. Sounds like fun. Keep on watching. To like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Over on YouTube, we bring you amazing travel content from all over the world, and we don't want you to miss a thing. This week, we are talking about Harmony of the Seas. Have you guys been on Harmony of the Seas? This is like a scale model. I know I keep showing off the little, they even got the little, it's not a water slide. This is actually a dry slide. But anyway, they have all of the things inside the ship on this. It just amazes me. Yeah, how cool is that? The little Central Park area. Anyway, we just got off Harmony of the Seas last week, and we had a phenomenal time. It was our first time on an Oasis class ship, and it was our first time going in suite class. We tried out everything for you guys. It was phenomenal. So I'm really going to dive in is it really right for you, though? That's what we're going to kind of decide on today. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, please type a little I'm new below. I'd love to welcome you to our community. And if you are new, you might not know who I am. My name is Cindy Williams. I have been in the travel industry since I was a baby at 19 years old, almost 30 years ago. So I know a lot about travel. I train travel agents for a living. I've actually certified thousands of travel agents to do exactly what I do. And sharing what I love about travel and educating people on travel is just my jam. So if you're a travel agent watching this video, that's amazing. You're going to get so many tips on how to educate your clients. And if you are a future cruiser, I'm so glad that you're here and you're learning from my wealth of knowledge. So I welcome you to our channel, and we're going to get right into it. Before we dive into all of the benefits of staying in suite class, I want to give you a quick look at our grand suite that we got to stay in. It was absolutely amazing, and let's do a quick tour for you guys so you can kind of take a peek too. So what I love about this little area here is this nice little coffee bar, which is so important to us because my husband loves to have tea at night. I love to have coffee, and it just makes for a better morning because you don't have to run down or run across the ship to get some coffee. Now in here, I believe this is, yes, a little mini fridge, which is nice. So probably stock that with some waters, or if you like soda, you can put those in there. Have a nice little ice bucket. And I just love having this little kind of like countertops, extra shelves. I love having a little bit bigger bathroom. This just makes all the difference in the world, especially when you're traveling with more people, right? So here's a look at the bathroom for you. Nice big soaker tub. So a lot of nice space. This is gonna work out perfect for us for a family of 3 traveling this visit. Here's the balcony. We have 2 nice loungers, a couple of breakfast chairs and a little table. Not the most beautiful view yet, but that's gonna change pretty soon. Then we get into the living room area here. Now we're traveling with our son on this visit, but we have our little area over here, kind of shuts off with these nice curtains. And then the living room area here, lots of sitting. He has a TV, we have a TV, and we have a balcony out on both sides. All right, let me take you into the main 1-bedroom. So I love this. It's a king-size bed. Love it. Balcony over there. Again, we have our own TV. And this is my favorite because you have a bathroom. If the boys are in the bathroom, I can still do my makeup out here, and there's a nice little jewelry box in here for you. So just kind of well thought out space-wise. My husband's already put his vitamins in there. So well thought out space-wise, lots of little extra drawers. You have, both have a little nightstand and plugs. Now what you can do, one of my tips is bring a European adapter so you can plug that in there, and then you can take advantage of all of the plugs, especially if you have a lot of camera equipment like I do, different things like that. That really helps a ton. But I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a great cruise. And I hope you guys like the stateroom as much as we do. I really like this 1-bedroom grand suite. And so first, let's talk about, are suites really worth it? Okay, let me first break it down for you. And we went on Royal Caribbean. So today I'm really going to be speaking to Royal Caribbean suite class. Keep in mind there's a lot of different cruise lines, and all of them have a little bit different amenity levels for their passengers that travel in suites. So today we're talking about Royal Caribbean, okay? We were traveling in Sky class. Royal Caribbean has 3 different classes. They have Star, Sky, and Sea. So the one we were in was kind of in the middle, right? We were kind of like middle of the road. We didn't want to go totally rock star, but we wanted to give you guys like where most people would probably fall. And I'm actually going to bring up a quick little show for you here. Not a show, but a quick little diagram to kind of show you exactly what you get. All right, so here we are. So this is a breakdown. Remember I said there's Sea, Sky, and Star class. Sea being the least expensive, Sky being in the middle, and Star being the most expensive, just to kind of give you a framework on that. But here are some of the amenities that you get. And I'm going to talk about, after we go through the list here, I'm going to talk about our experience with these. A dedicated check-in line, priority boarding, coastal kitchen dinner, Royal Caribbean bathrobes for on board. Keep in mind, this is all of these classes have these so far. Luxury bathroom amenities, in-room Lavazza espresso coffee maker / tea service in the room as well. Voom, this is the online internet, so that will be important to a lot of you. Notice that Sea does not have those, but Sky and Star do. The other thing to note about this is everybody in your cabin gets this, not just one person. When they sell it on the cruise ship, they sell it per device or per person. You're actually able to get it for everybody in the room, which was a real win for us. Concierge service for the 2 higher. Sky and Star, exclusive signature activities, Sky and Star, Suite Lounge Concierge Club Access, Sky and Star, Priority Departure, Sky and Star, and then only for the Star class, Royal Genie. Royal Genie is like a personal butler that will actually help you to do everything that you need to do on the ship. I've heard crazy stories about the Royal Genie service and how fantastic it is. Complimentary gratuities. Our gratuities were $17.50 per person per day being in suite class, because you can see that was not covered in ours. And complimentary specialty dining. That's a big deal. That's going to create some savings. And complimentary deluxe beverage package. So that's a big one too. All right, let me go back to our main screen here, and let me just talk with you about our experience as we went through suite class for us and which of those amenities meant the most to us. So for us, I have to say, I sprained my ankle a week before going on the cruise. Of course I did, because I'm me. But anyway, I had a kind of a sensitive knee and ankle situation going on, and when we made it to Port Canaveral, we have a home here in Orlando, so we were just transferring from Orlando. It took like an hour and a half to get to the port. No big deal at all. But when we got there, we, first of all, got priority boarding, so we were in an early boarding time already, which was great. But you guys, the lines were so long. I was like, oh my gosh, how long am I going to be on my bad ankles? It's going to like ruin my day, because I need to like give it a little break every hour or so, right? But when I walked to the front, I said, is this the right line if we're in suite class? And he goes, oh, no, you come over here. And he opened up the thing and he goes, you just go right to the front. And I was like, okay, Captain, I am feeling the suite class so far. And that's exactly what we did. We literally walked right to the front. It took us maybe, I'm talking 16 to 20 minutes from the point that we landed in the port in that line to get all the way on the ship. So going through security, getting your paperwork, showing all of your vaccination information, actually boarding the ship, right? It was so fast. So the on and off the ship was lightning fast. And when we left the ship on the last day, again, we got priority boarding time in the morning, and they had a priority line for us, and whoop, we were out before all the crowds came out. So getting your luggage was like a snap, because there was just a few people kind of mulling about, just the suite people out getting their suitcases. It wasn't like huge crowds. So I really, really appreciated that. That was super helpful, especially in light of my sprained ankle. All right, let's talk about the concierge service. that actually ended up meaning a lot for us. I made another video, and keep in mind, we have a whole series of videos. If you're going on Harmony of the Seas, make sure you check out other videos. I have a top 10 tips. I have a, best dining one. Oh, we have some good stuff. But I talked about this in one of my other videos, and having the concierge, not just on the ship, but what actually happened is we got an email the week before the cruise, and they said, hey, you guys are traveling, you're in Sky Class. Would you like us to arrange any of your dining/show reservations? And I was like, why, yes, I would. So in my other video, the top 11 things you need to do before your cruise, that's the one that you want to watch. I talk about getting familiar with your itinerary and kind of have a general idea of what you want to do, and either pre-booking if you can, and for the things that you can't pre-book, be ready the minute you get on the ship. And if you are not in suite class, that is even more important. But we were in suite class, so we got the email. So I already had said, I want to go to these restaurants, I want to do these shows. We emailed it to them. Within 24 hours, we got an email back, and they got every single thing we wanted at exactly the same time that we wanted it. So we totally skipped the line virtually, right? So because when you get on the ship, a lot of people are trying to make those reservations then. So we were able to secure all of our reservations, got all of our first top choices. So having that concierge service was amazing. And then when we got on the ship, they have an area in the Coastal Kitchen, which is on the 17th deck. In that area in the Coastal Kitchen, that's kind of like their club area that only suite guests can go. When we arrived, they had the concierge there on day one. So we were able to go up, and I had a couple other appointments that I hadn't booked in advance. I wanted to get a massage. I wanted to get a blowout for my hair, just other fun stuff we were doing. I had a tour in St. Thomas, a private tour that we had arranged. And I also wanted to check on how the cabana worked, because we rented a cabana on Coco Cay. They're going to make another video on that too, so stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to make sure everything was set, so I didn't have to worry about it. And having that concierge where I didn't have to wait in line, I just walked right up. They got everything set up for me. And then our whole week was like flawless, because it just was all planned and all done. And if I did have to make any changes, and I did actually make some changes later on in the week when I wanted to switch some things around, you just go to the concierge again, and they can help you with that. So concierge for me was a big deal. I mentioned Coastal Kitchen, and I want to talk about this ended. I didn't think that was going to be a big deal. Like, we've stayed at hotels. You guys have seen our other resorts. We always try to stay club level to make sure we're showing you the most escalated, fantastic experiences. And I was like, yeah, okay, you get to go dinner and lunch there, and maybe they have some hors d'oeuvres in the evening, whatever. But this ended up being a really important part of the cruise to get away from the crowds. And I'll tell you why. When we first got on the ship, I was like, you get there and you're like, wow, this is a lot. They have people standing there and they're like, can I help you? Do you know where you want to go? Like, well, hey, lady, I can see that you have deer in the headlights, right? And I said, well, we're staying suite class. I said, I know we can't get in our cabins yet because we were here so early. I said, where should we go? And he said, oh, if you're in suite class, you should go right up to 17 and have lunch in the Coastal Kitchen. They're all ready for you up there. And I was like, okay, that sounds fantastic. So my husband, my son, and I went right up to 17. And immediately we went from this environment of it being very crowded and all the masses coming on to the ship to being, relaxed, because it was just not a ton of people. Everyone was having a sit down, elegant lunch, very casual, but elegant. And we had a 3-course lunch. We got the concierge stuff done, and the view, you guys, from the Coastal Kitchen, they have a beautiful view up there. So not just for that first lunch, but also on the day, like when I came back from St. Kitts, it was a little bit like hot outside, and I was like, oh my gosh, you can go up to 17 and get waters. I actually went straight up and just had lunch by myself because my husband and son were doing something else. But again, to get away from the crowds and just have that beautiful view and just a moment to kind of check in was really phenomenal. And something really cool happened the last day of Coastal Kitchen. We had gone up just to get my son a snack because he wanted a snack. It was super early, like 6:45 in the morning, because we were getting off the ship at like 7:15. And the elevators were so swamped with people getting off with their luggage, because they have a process. If you're taking your own luggage off, you can get off earlier, but it was holding up the elevators like crazy. So it took us like 6 stops to get up to the Coastal Kitchen on the last day. And then when I was leaving, one of the gentlemen from the Coastal Kitchen said, "Hang on, Mrs. Williams. They all know your name by the end of the week." He said, "Let me use my badge so you can go nonstop down to 7," because we were going from 17 to 7. And I was like, "Thank you." And I told my son, I'm like, "I think he just saved our life with getting off on time because all the elevators were stopping." So just like that extra level of care and love that happens up in the Coastal Kitchen was really phenomenal. And you could stop in there anytime and get some waters, or you can get grab and go stuff if you're not a sit down and eat person. My son, he loves to like work out and be on the go. He could just run up there, grab something quick and be out. So that was really cool. The next feature off of that list that really ended up making a big difference, especially for me and my little bit of sprained ankle. Normally I'm going from 6 a.m. in the morning to like midnight, and I'm run pictures. I'm out there getting stuff for you guys, right? So I'm busy. But this trip, I had to take it a little slower because of my ankle. So having that in-house coffee maker that made really good coffee, I just got some extra creamer from room service, and I was able to make a coffee and have it on my balcony and watch the beautiful like sea float by. The coffee ended up being a big deal. We're not big breakfast eaters anyway, so the ability to just have a quick coffee in the morning and then whenever I wanted to, it was really phenomenal for sure. One more thing. I'm going to backtrack for a second on Coastal Kitchen that I forgot to tell you guys. If you are not in a suite and you're not doing specialty dining where you have a reservation, remember specialty dining, if you don't know, is where you can pay extra to dine in like a little bit of a fancier location. Check out our other video because we went to all of them. So check out that one for that. But if you don't have reservations, then you are subject to going to the Windjammer, which is like the buffet. And guys, the Windjammer is nothing to write home about. It is your average buffet, but what I really noticed when I was doing my deck tours, I actually didn't even eat at the Windjammer. My husband did one day because it was after hours, and he said the food was just kind of like subpar. Just your average kind of lower level buffet food. So of course you have your regular dining rooms that you can eat in too. So I would maybe get into those reservations and do that. I think that's a little bit of a cut above the buffet. And hey, Windjammer is great for kids if they just want chicken nuggets and ice cream and whatever. And I'm sure they had some things that were fine, but it wasn't just about the food. It was the lines to get in seemed so long. Like they were wrapped around and they had 2 entrances. I was like, wow, how long are these people going to have to wait in to get lunch? So I never waited. I hate waiting in line. So I never waited in line, and we had mostly specialty dining anyway. All right, let's talk about the next feature, the Voom internet service. So I don't know how much it is for people that have to pay for it. I think it's 17, 20 some bucks per person per day. And what a lot of people do to save money is they'll just buy one, and then they're like, I'll log out of my device and then you log in your device. I don't have time for that. Like, I'm way too crazy with, kind of getting my stuff done. That would drive my husband crazy too. If you log out, I'll log in. So one of the things for us, it was so great. And our son was traveling with us too. And he's got to have his iPad, right? All of us were able to get Voom. We all were able to use the internet. So that was really, really helpful. So that's about $60 a day per person savings if we were to have to buy that for each person. And the last one I want to mention is kind of a funny one. So my husband likes to sleep like sitting up just a little bit. And so at home, he has like a setup or whatever. But when we're traveling, he always needs like extra pillows. And I am a pillow hog. Like I love a good like fluffy pillow. And I love to like hug a pillow when I sleep. So on the first day you get there, they have a little thing. And I don't know if this happens in the regular cabins because I think it was a suite thing. But it said, hey, do you want any different pillows? Do you want like a goose feather pillow? Do you want a firm pillow? Do you want a soft pillow? And they're like 3 or 4 different kinds of pillows. And I was like, yes, like bring me like 3 more goose ones. And I already had 2. And the guy's like, so you want 5 pillows? I'm like, yeah, and my husband needs some too. And he's like, yeah, bring me 3 too. So literally we came back to our cabin and it had 10 pillows in it. I don't know that they would do that in a regular cabin situation, but I know for sure suite class. And they almost like made a joke out of it because every night they would put the pillows in like a giant formation. But it was the greatest thing ever. By the way, if you're not already following us on Instagram, go over to @wanderlessceo. If you want to see some of this crazy stuff and our behind the scenes travel and all the things that we do out there in the world, that's the best place to follow to see all of the fun and crazy excitement. Plus you can see a lot of our amazing pictures from this recent cruise too. Okay, so in the end, Cindy, Was it worth the extra money to be in suite class, to live that sweet life, to do all of those things that you get as those extra benefits? And the answer is going to be yes or no, depending on you, not dependent on me. Like when I consult with a client, or if you travel agents are watching, you have to ask your clients, or if you're a future cruiser, ask yourself, this is how I would ask you to decide if it's going to be worth it for you. If you value your time, your experience, and kind of that convenience, that is more important to you, that is most important to you, then absolutely yes, suite classes for you. That's what you should do. If you don't want to wait in line, be the last in, or you prefer that special treatment, that's when the suite life or suite classes for you, and when spending the extra money is worth it. If you are penny pinching for your vacation, if you're trying to go as budget as possible, if you are more value minded with your vacation dollars, then no. If you just want to get on a cruise to get on a cruise, you're fine with buffets, you're fine with an inside cabin, then don't do a suite. You just have to prepare. You're going to be waiting in longer lines. You're not going to get all of those next level experiences. You're not going to have that top tier service. And for some of you, that's totally fine, because maybe you'd rather take 2 low cost cruises than 1 really expensive. I'm going to tell you, I've been in different journeys in my life, and my grandmother, God rest her soul, was Dutch, and she would have a heart attack for the extra money that we spent on the suite life. But here's my philosophy, guys. I have been doing this a long time, and here's what I realize in life and in business. Time is the only thing that you cannot make more of. So I don't want to stand in line. I don't want to wait. I don't want to waste any time. Like, I don't have time to waste. I want to spend more of my time on vacation. So for me, my time is more valuable than the money that I spent on that extra cost to be in the suite level. And also the experience is so much better. Like, skip the line, everything's done, go to the coastal kitchen, like everything's first class. It is like the difference between, coach class and first class. For us, yes, it was 100% worth the extra money for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, last but not least, how do you get the best value? If you do want to do a suite, but get the best value possible, here are a couple things that you can do. Number 1, book in advance. It is so important. We are already booking people into next year and beyond for cruises. That is how far ahead you can book a cruise. And you want to do that because the rates are much, much better while the ship still has a ton of occupancy available, okay? So book as early as you can in advance. And ideally, if you're using that travel agent like we suggested, they can even put you on a watch list or keep an eye on if there's any specials or any bonuses. Another thing that you can do to get a really good value is if you are already taking a cruise, you can actually stop by on board, and they have an onboard service where you can book another cruise and then get a certain amount off. They were offering $600 off in form of a credit if you booked your next cruise while you're on board. And if you're using a travel agent, don't even worry. They're going to attach that travel agent's name so you can still use your travel agent and get that amazing service, but still get that benefit as well. When you get back, just make sure you tell your travel agent that you rebooked on board. They can take over that reservation and continue to manage it for you. Another thing that people don't know a lot about is Royal Caribbean has a really cool process called Royal Up. And when you get a little bit closer to your time that you're traveling, you can go through a bid process where you can bid on suites. So if you want to try to get a suite for maybe lower than what it's listed for, and if they have extra space available, you might be able to bid on a suite and you might be able to win and then royal up into a suite situation, which would be, oh boy, that was kind of a play on words, a suite situation and a suite as a cabin on the cruise as well, right? I'll tell you when that works the best though. It does not work during busy season in the middle of summer, spring break, Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, when kids are out of school basically. Those are busier times. It's not going to work in high season, but off season, it does often work. So definitely keep that in mind as well. And guys, if you are thinking about booking a suite on a cruise, that's really what my agency specializes in. Tripsy Travel is a boutique luxury agency that doesn't take ourselves too seriously. but we specialize in clients who have those bigger budgets and want that experience that is really next level. So if that is you, reach out to us at traveltripsy.com. And even if you're not using us, guys, I want to encourage you to look for a travel agent that has a certification. This is the certification that you want them to have, the Careers on Vacation Travel Agent Certification. That way you know they are skilled, educated, professional travel agent. Pick someone off that list. Please support our industry if you can. And if you're going on your own, make sure that you follow all of these tips, do all the things, and keep in mind there's so much to know about being on a cruise. If you've never been on a cruise before, I'm literally making like 6 or 7 videos just on this one cruise. And I have been in the industry for 30 years. There's a lot to know. So use a professional. They can really help you. Even if you are in a regular cabin versus a suite, they can help you get the most out of your vacation experience. So I encourage that you check out a skilled and professional travel agent to help you with that. And by the way, if you're curious about what it's like to be a travel agent, that's what I do. I train travel agents all day long through Careers on Vacation. You can visit us over at travelschool.com, and you can check out all of our programs to certify new travel agents to get into our industry and do some of this fun stuff that we do on the channel here. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I will see you next time. I wish you so much love, and I'll see you out there in the world. Bye guys.